Part 1. White Clouds. Verdant Rain Moon. Tower of Black Winds. The ceaseless rains that satiate the verdant landscape of Fodlan are accompanied by fierce winds and mighty roars of thunder. This abundance of rain, sparkling as it falls against beams of emerging sunlight, is a constant reminder to the people of Fodlan that nature is ever wild and unpredictable. For when the rain finally does take pause, the clouds part and give way to a glorious rainbow.
I have a new mission for you, Professor. I would like for you to take your students into Kingdom territory to eliminate some thieves.
They stole a hero's relic from House Gautier of the Holy Kingdom of Fargus, the Lance of Ruin. Their leader's name is Miklan. He is apparently a disowned son of House Gautier. I believe it had something to do with his lack of a crest. Such happenings are fairly common within the kingdom.
The Crestless cannot unleash the goddess's power even if they possess a relic. Nonetheless, they are still capable of simply wielding those weapons.
The hero's relics are immensely powerful weapons. We must meet this threat with adequate force. Unfortunately, most of the Knights of Seiros are away from the monastery, purging the apostates of the Western Church. So we are entrusting you with this mission. After all, you wield the Sword of the Creator, which is more than capable of opposing any relic.
The Sword of the Creator is a powerful weapon well beyond the other relics. You have nothing to fear. However, to ensure that no harm comes to the students, we will also send the monastery's most skilled individuals to aid you.
I must remind you that you are expected to conduct yourself in a manner befitting the wielder of that holy sword. Also, you should know that Professor Hanneman has been looking for you. That is all.
I heard about our mission for this month. So, we are to eradicate thieves in Kingdom territory. I'm sorry for dragging you into the Kingdom's petty squabbles. This should not be your burden to bear, but my own. Thank you, Professor. Hearing you say that puts my mind at ease.
Your Highness? Ah, it's been ages!
It's been a long time. 2 years, if I'm not mistaken.
Indeed, Your Highness. You've grown so much in those years, I hardly recognize you.
This is Rodrigue, an old friend of my father's. I believe I've mentioned him, if you recall. When my father died 4 years ago, he looked after me as though I were his own son.
Ha ha! You flatter me, Your Highness. It was my honor to care for such a fine young man. It's nice to finally meet you, Professor. My son, Felix, has mentioned you on occasion.
What brings you to the monastery, Rodrigue? Is it the thieves plaguing the kingdom?
I'm afraid so. This is not merely a problem for House Gautier, but for everyone. The thieves have set up their headquarters in Fraldarius territory, and are mercilessly pillaging the villagers of that area. You have our full support in stopping those dastards. I thank you for your help, both of you.
Good of you to come, Professor. I've heard much about you lately. Specifically, that you are able to awaken the Sword of the Creator's power. Thusly, it seems the true nature of your crest has been uncovered. I had, of course, seen your crest before. However, at first, I failed to recognize its true nature. Eventually, it dawned on me that what is visible is perhaps merely a small part of a greater whole. In other words, your crest is too significant to be detected when using normal instruments. After this discovery, I began researching crests that might fit that description, which allowed for a temporary hypothesis. However, I could not be certain. The crest my conclusions led me to was far too unusual. A crest thought to have disappeared from this world in the millennium since the fall of Nemesis, the King of Liberation. The crest of flames. That is what you possess. Your ability to wield the sword of the Creator has unequivocally proven my hypothesis. A legendary power, dormant since time immemorial, and now resurrected. There can be no doubt that this ancient power resides within you.
Thank you for your invitation. Thank you. Oh, what fun. Huh? Nah. Yeah. 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 Oh. Thanks for the treat.
A stone? Yet as but is that...
Hello.
I know Lord Rodrigue. He paid repeated visits to His Highness after the previous king was killed.
Say, I hear that a knight of Seiros named Gilbert will be joining us for our mission this moon. He is skilled, which is surely a boon for us. Still, that was not very thoughtful of Lady Rhea. No, it's nothing. In any case, you should at least introduce yourself to him before we depart. House Gautier is Sylvain's home. It would be nice of you to check on him as well.
Mercedes, her face.
I must stay focused. Too slow! Over already. Is that all? I must stay focused. Is that all?
secret. Sorry.
What the?
It's awful. Things let me still. We can't lose them, Professor. It's things are. I've been looking. Yeah.
Why is perhaps I would like to have. Might you help me with a favor?
Right. Hey! Right.
What?
Professor, you looked like a natural wielding the sword of the Creator. It's strange, though, isn't it? The last owner of the sword was Nemesis.
So the whole plan. That means. What right? I wish. I want to hear.
You have helped me so much.
Need something? See you again soon.
I'll keep my voice down. This is no.
Professor, I'm gonna keep training. Hey, Professor. No?
Yes. I have never. Professor, you kept training butts. Professor!
Hey, Professor. How important can that stuff really be? Personally, I'll take most. Goodness, I was just on.
thought school life would be peaceful and... But since you arrived, it's been one... Oh, a wrist, though. Hey! Not possible. Hey, Professor, I just spotted him by the dining... Father.
So, a teacher.
I do find you very...
That's so. You and your... I admit, at noon... What? Huh? However, I still... I admit, at noon...
Oh no.
Wow, what is feeling?
Hey!
I have a Hail, Professor. If I may introduce myself, I am Gilbert. My life has been spent as a dedicated... I may have slowed a step in recent years. No.
Oh no.
Wow, what is feeling? Yes.
No.
I could use your help. I could use your help.
Could you help me out? Knew I could count on you. Hey there. Is this it? There you go. 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 Come back anytime.
The coffin of Saros in the Holy Mausoleum should have held her remains. Instead, they say it held the sword of the Creator. What? Oh, well.
Some people are in and some are in. Oh, excuse me.
And just
Also quite.
I have heard that some...
It would seem that your reputation... It's a shame. Hello there. You there.
Thanks. Thanks.
I am grateful. It is almost.
Stay. That's not. If someone. There are bit. They are under the.
Oh. You to think I cannot. As for the. I hope we. Hey, Professor. At the same time, I bet we'd get along. I'm also good. Feel free to call Thunderbrand and I.
Professor, have you seen my son perchance? Is that so? I must ask him not.
You to think I cannot. As for the. I hope we.
Professor, I'm so. Don't misunderstand. I can't wait to.
Oh!
Have you seen a man who looks like me? If you get the chance. That's mine.
Hey, I figured. I learned all cleaning. I'm happy to help you out with any. You betcha. Since you know.
There. Hey, Teach. Could it mean that you're?
Professor. If he is not in... I have something to ask of you. I have something to ask of you.
The glory... I am trusting you. You must... However, you will... May I ask a favor of you?
Really? Professor. Oh, he was talking. Hey, I know I'm in a...
Oh, no. That is quite enough.
Don't you think maybe he... I'd like to... Don't you think maybe he... Oh, that's mine.
So that me. What right? I wish. I want to hear. Oh.
Not possible, Father. Thank you so much.
I appreciate your effort.
Oh, there's a... I can't remember.
Oh.
Some people in summer. Yes.
Hello there.
Right.
Oh, hey, I was. She's resting beneath. I suppose she would. And I cherish. And she died. But this ring one day.
The glory.
Well done. You have my thanks.
I like that.
Eating food always fun.
I may have...
What?
Hello?
Professor. I wonder why. Why does Lady Rhea give you special treatment? You're not particularly strong or good. Not that I doubt Shamir came from... Besides... I'm not blaming you, and it's not like... It's a legendary relic, right? Maybe it's because you're related to Gerald. He was a leader of the Knights of... By the time I joined... Oh, come on.
It's off. Things are...
Such...
Hi. Hi there.
This.
It's all. What? Got it.
All right. Wow.
Ah. That. Look. I'm getting that.
Of course.
Each new...
Let me ask you something. I see. That might work.
Professor. You're certainly not going easy on me. You fight like a mercenary, not a knight.
Complaining will... We have...
One thing I want to say, Professor.
You are giving me a headache.
I can do better now.
This isn't so...
I've learned a thing or two from...
A new pack?
Easy.
Yeah.
Well, of course.
It's all.
I'm fine. Oh no. Thank you for being so...
Professor.
Thanks for inviting me. Thanks. Hot, hot, hot. Yeah. Really? Yeah. Thanks for the tea.
One thing I want to say, Professor.
It's in my grasp.
This isn't so hard.
Well done. You have my thanks.
Impressive. Thanks.
You don't look busy. Join me for some training, Boar Prince.
And here I thought you had no desire to speak with me.
We don't need to speak to clash swords, do we?
I suppose not. Is that one new? Wait. Where did you get such a blade?
I suppose you would recognize its value. I came upon a merchant selling weapons and found this among the rest of the steel.
That pattern around the edge. There's no doubt. It was forged by Zoltan, the master swordsmith.
I'm not giving it to you.
Huh? Oh, I'm just happy to have laid eyes on it. I don't suppose you'd allow me the chance to hold it.
Do you take me for a fool? I'm not letting a brute like you swing it around.
As though I would be careless with something so valuable.
I recall when you were 9 years old, you swung a sword so hard you snapped it clean in two.
Come now, that was so long ago. I'm hardly the fool I was then.
So you say. Yet House Fraldarius still told that story for years.
What's wrong, Felix?
How pointless. No use talking about someone who's long dead. Looking at your face is making me angry. I'm going to find a different training partner. Farewell, your beastliness.
What is going on with him?
Your Highness, I have a little favor to ask of you.
Of course. How may I be of assistance?
Well, I was hoping you could tell me about my father. I imagine he was a very different man at home than he was at work.
Ah, so you wish to hear about the Gustav that I knew. As you know, he was a knight who served the royal family since my grandfather's reign. To me, he was a teacher of martial arts and tactics. He was someone I depended on since I was a small child. But he was also a very stern and strict instructor.
That doesn't surprise me. He was much the same at home. He'd chide us if we made mistakes, whether it was with cooking or even how we spoke.
Is that so? Funny. I suppose in front of his family he felt the need to demonstrate proper etiquette.
Wait, are you saying that's not how he was around you?
Even all these years later, there's something I recall with perfect clarity. It happened in the autumn of my 11th year. Before the break of dawn, he woke me suddenly. Said he'd heard a disturbance and had me grab my bow. Then he set me and a fellow pupil loose on a dark mountain. Our only directive was to go catch a deer. As you well know, autumn in the capital is very cold. Now, imagine being up on the mountain at night with no idea what might jump out from the shadows. That, in a nutshell, is the Gustav I knew.
I can hardly imagine that. He was completely different with me.
I recall one other defining detail. He used to speak of you at every possible opportunity.
Really? What would he say about me?
Are you sure you want to know? There's one story he used to tell from when you were very small.
No, stop! It's probably too embarrassing to bear. Is it?
Perhaps.
Look, I'll promise to forget the stories he told me about you if you return the favor. Deal?
Yes, that seems the only thing to do. It's a promise.
You don't like to talk much, huh, Dudu?
I am not skilled in conversation.
Any particular reason?
Reason? I am only here at the monastery because this is where His Highness wishes me to be. Many here are frightened of me, disgusted by me. I grow weary of it.
That makes sense. A lot of people hate Dusker. They think all kinds of terrible things. Some of them even think you kidnap and eat people.
We sound like true monsters.
Why are you smiling? Shouldn't it make you angry?
I suppose.
If those people would just talk to you, I'm sure they'd change their minds. I'll admit that when I first got here, I found you kind of intimidating. I didn't know if it was okay to talk to you. I hesitated. But like I said before, I just wanted to get to know you. And now that I have, I'm not scared at all.
I am not very good at interesting conversation.
We can work on that. Tell me about Dusker. What was your hometown like?
Calm. More forested than Fargus. Each town had a specialty. Smithing, fishing. You would be better off reading about it in a book.
Okay, maybe you're right. But answer me one thing. You're a great cook and you learned at home. Why don't you make more Dusker-style food?
As we have established, people hate Dusker. Food by itself may be harmless, but it is better not to sow seeds of discontent.
Ah. But the cuisine of Dusker is delicious. I'd really like to try more of it.
I am pleased to hear you say so.
Sylvain, I want to apologize for the other day.
The other day? What are you talking about, Felix? Is this a trap?
You know, when I called you insatiable.
Oh, that? Can't say it didn't hurt, but you have nothing to apologize for. I mean, you've said worse, Felix. Considerably worse. Come on, we've known each other since we were kids. We're not gonna let your constant verbal abuse get in the way of our friendship, are we?
No, I suppose not.
Whenever I started doing something dumb, you'd yell at me about it.
And whenever you dragged me into something, Ingrid would find out and start lecturing us.
All these years, and not much has changed, has it? But you're different, Felix. You used to be so, I don't know, carefree when we were young. Now you're the exact opposite.
Well, you're not any different. Good for nothing then, good for nothing now.
Again with the abuse. This from the guy who's always been by that good-for-nothing side. So, did you come to apologize, or to insult me?
I was on my way to train and I saw you. That's all.
You're off to train again? Now who's insatiable?
Better than sitting idle like you.
A little idleness would do you some good, pal. Come on, let me buy you something to eat.
No.
You have to choose, Felix. Our friendship, or your training?
My training. Goodbye for now.
What did... is he... Wait, Felix, I'll come train too. Wait up.
Hello?
Oh, hello. Have you been there long? I was absorbed in this book.
Another silly legend?
First of all, they're not silly. And second of all, no. It's an essay that speaks to uncommon and challenging battle scenarios. I've been researching such things since you proposed your unique strategy. Listen to this. Your commander gives orders that put your hometown in extreme danger. Do you carry out the orders, or protect your hometown?
What nonsense. I was talking about real-world tactics, not some dumb ethical question.
Whatever your personal feelings on the matter, I see similarities between such tactics and these dumb ethical questions. I haven't read beyond this one, but I think the obvious answer is to follow your commander. The duty and pride of being a knight demand that you follow orders, regardless of your own feelings. But if I were put in such a position, I don't know how I'd fare. In fact, were someone to carry out those orders, I know that I'd attempt to stop them.
Stop bothering with all this. You're not meant to be a knight. Go find a husband.
Excuse me?
You heard me.
I know you hate the ideals of chivalry and pride. So much so, you prefer to escape your duty as your family's heir. You have no right to criticize me for my ideals.
Perhaps not. At least I know not to heedlessly obey orders. I know not to romanticize blind obedience. My brother taught me to think for myself.
Don't you dare bring Glenn into this.
You're right. Forget it.
Hey, Sylvain. Can we talk?
What's up, Ash? Looking for more life tips?
No. But I did want to thank you for coming to my aid in battle the other day.
That? No need to thank me for that.
No, really, I insist. If you hadn't been there, I definitely would have been finished. You really set a model for my training. I can only hope I'll be able to save someone like that someday.
Again with the studying and the training? You're so stubborn you make Ingrid and His Highness seem downright easygoing. My advice on the whole thing is to just follow your instincts. That's what I do. If someone's in trouble, I help them. You don't need to be a valiant knight to know that. Doesn't matter if the person is an ugly old man or the cutest girl you've ever seen. You help them.
So you're saying...
Everybody's the same, deep down. It's our job to help anyone who needs it.
Ah.
What? You're looking at me funny. Did I say something wrong?
No, I'm just surprised, that's all. You're actually a much better person than I thought.
Was that a compliment? I can't tell.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean any insult. I was just really impressed by what you said about helping people without even thinking. To jump in and help someone without any thought at all of reward. That is real virtue.
How did you say that with a straight face? I'd be embarrassed if I were you. Come on, Ash. You're an honest and overall great guy. You'll be an honest and overall great knight, too. Of course, people like you need to watch out for greedy people.
Huh?
Remember when I said I didn't need any thanks? Well, I didn't say anything about not wanting a reward. There's a girl, and we had a misunderstanding about who was allowed to date who, so, I need to hang out in your room until everything calms down. Should only be a day. Or 2. Tops.
Sylvain?
Come on, Ash. Remember, if someone's in trouble, you help them. You want to be a great knight, yeah?
Oh, fine. Since you helped me, but just this once.
All right, I knew I could count on you. You'll definitely be a great knight.
He really would be a great person, if he could just stop all the scandal. Do you know this legend, Ingrid? It's about the Battle of Fodlan's Throat.
Oh, yes. I know it like the hilt of my sword.
With so many valiant knights appearing in this story, I couldn't help but wonder which was your favorite. I really like this one, the one in the middle, the knight who stands in defense of the Duke.
Such a wonderful knight. One of my favorites as well.
That makes sense. He's so noble and virtuous. In fact, he kind of reminds me of you.
Thank you. You remind me of him as well. You are honest, as is he.
No, I'm nowhere near as great. Maybe someday. Maybe if we work hard together, we can both become knights as glorious as the one in this story.
Together, yes. Now wouldn't that be something? If only we could.
Huh?
Ash, the legends are exactly that. Legends. They're not indicative of real life. The cards we are dealt are what they are. We can work with what we have, but we can't change what's in our hand.
What's that supposed to mean?
I long to serve His Highness as a knight. The sort of knight that legends are written about. But I was born bearing a crest, and with that comes responsibility. Whether I like it or not, I am the last hope of House Galatea. I am the only one who can carry on the family bloodline and restore our lost fortune. To do that means setting aside my own dreams and ambitions.
You still have the right to pursue your dreams.
Ash, I must ask something of you.
Yes, of course. Anything.
My dream is aligned with your own. Please, for both of us, promise to see yours through.
That doesn't seem fair.
I'll never be able to see my dream through. Doing so would mean terrible misfortune for others. So, I am bound by honor not to follow through on my own dream. But I can help you achieve yours.
Come on, this isn't like you at all. Please, don't smile when your eyes are so sad.
Ingrid?
What's the matter, Annette? You look upset.
I'm just so sorry. I had no idea.
I'm not sure I follow. Take a breath. What's going on?
Well, I was really curious about why you're not interested in things like makeup. So I asked some of our friends about it, and...
Oh, I see. I imagine they mentioned that my family was fairly poor, and they probably also mentioned that I lost my fiancé. Correct?
They did. I'm so sorry. It was thoughtless of me to try pushing those things on you.
It's perfectly fine, Annette. It's true, my family struggled financially. It wasn't easy growing up, but it taught me values I wouldn't have learned otherwise. And we weren't so poor that I consider myself deprived. I'm sure my family would have bought me makeup if I had wanted it, but it never mattered enough to me. Not then, and not now.
Oh, so you just never sought that stuff out?
Never. While I acknowledge it can be fun, fussing over my outward appearance isn't an instinct of mine. When I was younger, I'd usually be found covered in dirt, bugs in my hair, and a big smile on my face. Things haven't changed too much since. Then, when my fiancé passed on, my priorities shifted even further. It reminded me of what's most important in life. Beyond that, it's hard to think of myself changing without him around to see it, even if it's something trivial like how I present myself. But talking to you has helped me realize it's okay to loosen up and enjoy those things, if I want. So, thank you.
Me? Oh, I didn't do anything at all. Except pester.
More importantly, do you notice anything different about me today?
Yes. It's very subtle, but I could tell right away that you were using that makeup I gave you.
You could? Ah, that makes me happy. I was trying to apply it just how you showed me.
You did great, and it really suits you.
I think there's a lot I can learn from you, Annette. You've helped me embrace a lighter side of life I quite like.
It's my pleasure. Ooh, this is so great. Want to go shopping to celebrate?
Shopping? But what would we buy? That sounds so overwhelming.
There's a dress I've been eyeing for a while now. I'm certain it will complement your pretty eyes. Just leave it to me, Ingrid. I'll make you the most fabulous knight this world has ever seen.
Well, that does sound fun. I look forward to it.
I passed!
A new pa-
Did you need something? Why, thanks. Delicious. Yes. Indeed. It's not. It was delicious.
Your Highness? Why are you in my room?
Sorry, I need to hide in here, just for a while. I'll have you know this is all your fault.
Hide? From who?
It's a girl from the academy.
I'm sorry, it's a what?
This is all because of your insistence that I go and ask a girl out.
You didn't give her a dagger, did you? Is that why you're hiding? Does she have a dagger, Dimitri?
Look, you kept true to your promise to improve your behavior. So I felt it was only right to make good on my side of the bargain, too.
You invited a girl to dinner, and now she's chasing you around. What's the big deal? Unless... Did you use one of my pickup lines? Those words are dangerous in the wrong hands. With me, people know a line's a line and I'm joking. But you, nobody's ever accused you of being funny.
I clearly underestimated the difficulty of the task. But what do I do now?
Relax, Your Highness. Relax. I'll sort this whole thing out real easy. All we have to do is figure out how to make this girl lose interest in you. And making girls lose interest is what I'm best at. You just wait right there, and I'll fix everything.
It was my naivete that brought this about. I cannot place this immense burden on your shoulders.
This is no job for an amateur. You need a professional's help. Trying to do everything yourself has never served you so well, so just leave this to the master. Even the dagger incident could have been avoided if you had just talked with me beforehand.
There wasn't time for consultation. I only learned she was leaving on the day of her departure.
Whatever you say. The point is, you need to learn to rely on me for these types of things in the future. For now, I got this. And if I ever need help with something you know how to help with, then maybe you can do the same for me.
Sylvain. Very well. When that time comes, I promise to help you as best I can. A Knight of Fargus never goes back on his word. Isn't that right? You're a good man, Sylvain. I'm sorry to do this to you. Best of luck.
Please, Your Highness. I've spent years honing my skills for just this situation. Watch and learn.
Ingrid, I've been doing some thinking, and it occurs to me that I owe you an apology.
What? Why do you seem so serious?
In a just world, you would be happily married to Glenn. He truly loved you, and it's clear that you care deeply for him as well. But on that awful night, he died right before my eyes. I could do nothing to prevent it. In a way, I'm responsible for you losing the joyous future that should have been yours. I know my words can change nothing, but I'm so sorry, Ingrid.
No, Your Highness. There's no need to apologize. Glenn's death, it still doesn't feel real. I always looked up to Glenn. He was the very picture of a perfect knight, noble and virtuous. In the end, he laid down his life, the ultimate sacrifice. I feel proud of him in ways that words can't quantify.
Proud? Truly?
That's right. I feel proud that he died for those he was sworn to protect. Proud that he passed from this realm to the next as a perfect knight.
Are you really trying to turn his needless death into an ideal to uphold? You and he are so alike.
Needless death? How can you say that? Glenn gave his life for you, for everyone, and this is how you speak of his sacrifice?
You weren't there. You didn't witness his last moments. If you had, you wouldn't feel that way.
I don't care to hear your interpretation of his final moments. He was and will always be an ideal knight.
You would do well to rethink that ideal, my friend.
Pardon me? He served in your guard. He took great pride in what he did, in protecting you. The very least you can do is not spit on his memory. If you'll excuse me.
What is the matter with me?
Mercedes, I swear, the whole cathedral glows with heavenly light when you're around.
Hello, Sylvain. What a treat to see you here. I thought you preferred places with more ladies around.
I'm here because you're here. And I don't care about other girls.
Oh, come now. I'm sure you use that line all the time.
Actually, I've only said it to girls who thought I was lying about being faithful. You know what? There's no reason to get into all that. The truth is, I would really like to spend some time with you. What do you say to that?
Well, if you were really interested in me, I would want you to get to know me better.
I agree. I've been such an idiot in the past, always angling for the seduction. I've forgotten how to just talk to someone.
You act like you're full of regret, but I know you don't really mean it. Still, I'm glad to hear you say that at least. I told you such a boring story the last time we spoke. I was worried you might think I was a dull person.
Dull? No. I was worried that I'd made you remember unhappy times. It's horrible what you had to go through. It's not like anyone chooses to be born with a crest.
Right. We can't choose our bloodline. You've got a crest too, haven't you, Sylvain? What has your experience been like?
Are you asking how being born with a crest affected me? It's not a very happy story.
Please don't feel the need to hold back on my account. I'm here if you need someone to share in your pain.
Would you want to know more about me, even if I didn't have a crest, or come from a noble family?
This has nothing to do with your crest or family. I'm just asking as your friend. How should I put this? When I look at you, I don't see a crest. I want to see the real you.
You do? Here's the short version. I hate crests. Even though having one is supposed to be such a great blessing, mine has ruined everything. Miquelon was heir to our house. Then I was born, and I became the heir because I had a crest. That made my older brother jealous enough to want to kill me. And every woman in Fodlan wants to have my little crest baby, so they can join the nobility. Yeah, there you go. That's what it's like to have a crest.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to dredge up such awful things.
No, I should keep my temper better. I don't want you to see me act that way.
Don't say that. I'm glad we were able to talk. I feel like I'm finally seeing the real you. Oh, Sylvain, will you save me from the curse of having a crest?
Of course. I think I love you. And I mean that. With all my heart. I love you, Mercedes. Let's get married and have crest babies.
Sure.
Apologies for my late arrival, Mercedes. My duties ran long, as per usual.
There's no need to apologize at all. Please, have a seat. We've met for tea so many times, but you never seem to get used to it, do you, Ingrid?
Not entirely, no. I'm not accustomed to being treated so delicately. Anyway, what will we talk about today?
I actually wanted to gripe about something that's been bothering me.
You? Gripe? Now that's unusual. I'm happy to listen, of course. It's the least I can do after all the kindness you've shown me.
Thank you. The one thing I really wanted to talk about is marriage.
Oh?
Yes. I received a letter from my adoptive father about marriage discussions with a noble family.
And will you accept?
That's the problem. No matter what I decide, I'll probably be married off anyway. What I really want to do is help those in need. But I think it would be more difficult to do so if I married a nobleman.
Understandably so. Sounds to me like you need a strategy to silence your father.
Sorry? To silence him?
Don't you agree? It seems the best course of action would be to consider severing all ties with the family and running away.
We don't need to go that far. I'm sorry, I really just needed to let that out. I don't need you to worry about solving my problems.
Oh, okay. It's just a bit personal for me, actually. My own father has brought countless marriage proposals to my attention. He always was obsessed with me carrying on the family bloodline. At a very young age, my hand had already been promised to someone in marriage. But Glenn died young.
That must have been difficult for you. Would you have married him if he had survived?
That's a good question. It's hard to imagine now. Although I did admire him quite a lot. He held true to the ideals of knighthood, proudly serving the king. Even after all these years, I aspire to be the type of knight that he embodied. But that's just it. I'm not a tool for furthering my family's fortunes. I'm a knight at heart, regardless of what my father desires.
I see. A very noble cause indeed. How strange that we should be worrying about the same thing.
Even though we are such different people.
It's true. Enjoying a nice chat over tea with you like this makes me realize maybe the paths we walk aren't so different after all. Don't you think?
I do. These tea parties of ours, they really are something special.
That they are. Ingrid, I would love to get to know you better if that's okay. I want to know about your childhood, your favorite books, the sweets you like, anything at all.
Absolutely. I'm happy to speak with you anytime. And I want to know you better too, Mercedes.
Phew. Good work. Should we call it a day?
Thank you. Yes, let's. Catherine, if you don't mind, I'd like to ask you something.
Let me guess. You're going to ask why you're so bad at predicting my attacks.
When I expect an attack from above, you surprise me from below. When I expect a jab, I get a sweep. You seem to anticipate my anticipation.
It's probably because you're a straightforward, honest person. You're reading my movements and trying to calculate what I'll do next.
That has always seemed the most sound strategy when engaging in combat, yes.
Right. Well, I take that anticipation and turn it against you. I use my eyes and the tilt of my sword to mislead you. Catching your opponent off guard is the trick to staying alive in combat. You've got to keep yourself alive if you want to protect Lady Rhea, right?
Your dedication to Lady Rhea's safety is truly inspiring, Catherine.
You flatter me.
My dream is to become a knight and protect my king, no matter the cost. There is no greater purpose I can serve. Although your fealty is sworn to Lady Rhea, you are the ideal knight I aspire to be.
Admire me to your heart's content, but I'm...
Catherine, I'd be honored if you would make me your squire.
My what now? Oh, you're far too straight-laced to be my squire.
However you might judge me, I'm quite serious about this.
All right then, why not? Let's start by teaching you how to flirt with handsome men.
Pardon me? That can't possibly be where you want to start.
Nah, I was just kidding. I wish I knew how to flirt with handsome men. Instead, let's teach you to lighten up.
Ah, understood.